Hey, Ben here, and in today's video, I'm going to give you 10 ways in which you can turn around your failing business fast. Now, tip number one, most important, understand you have a problem. Do not be an ostrich, stick your head in the sand. That is not going to help. The first step, and it is the most important step, is accepting that you've got a problem. The sooner you do this, the more time you've got, the longer you've got, the longer the runway to get things turned around and fixed. The more time you spend with your head in the sand, pretending that everything's okay, next month we're going to be okay, next month we're going to be okay, you're just wasting time. So accept that there is an issue, or there potentially is an issue, and move on to step number two. Which step number two, get a grip on your numbers and the situation that you're in. The most important thing you can do is understand your numbers. Understand in, out, what your cash flow is like. Have you got anything outstanding? You need to get a grip on everything. Make sure you've got your latest management accounts, all of the numbers that you've got, anything that's coming up liability-wise, cash flow. You want everything in front of you so that you can make a decision that encompasses all of the information you've got at your disposal. You do not want to be sat trying to work your way out of this, missing key bits of information. So if there's people at the top of the business that have control over certain parts of the figures, you need to make sure they are there with you at this time, going through the numbers, going through the plan for the next couple of months. Are there any major things happening? What do you need to take into account so that you understand a well-rounded view of the business, exactly what's happening and exactly what your financial state is. Step number three, you need to look at what is currently working in the business and what is not. Sometimes you find with businesses, when things start going a little bit sideways, it might be that they're in the middle of quite a big pivot into something else. It might be due to the launch of a new service or product that just isn't working. You might find that there is one area of the business that is dragging down the rest. You might find there's certain sections of the business that are very profitable, whereas one is making a massive loss. And when you look at that as an overall of the business, that is what's dragging it down. So it's really important to go through what you're doing currently, what is working and what is not. Step number four, you need a plan. So now you understand your financial situation, any big ins and outs that you've got coming up. You've also been through, you understand what's working and what's not in the business. You'll have an understanding of what you need to basically get rid of, double down on, fix, whatever that may be. You need to build that into a plan with your senior team and make sure that that is viable, that has the opportunity of working and getting you out of the situation that you're in. Step number five, really important, communicate with your team. They need to understand the situation. They need to be on board with it, because otherwise all they're going to do is start seeing all of these changes, people looking concerned, and people will panic, and you stand a real chance of losing key members of the team if you do not communicate properly with them. It's not enough that just your senior team understand what's happening. The more clarity you can give your entire team, the more you can get them all on board and working behind you, the more help they can be, and it removes any of these whispers or kind of, water cooler chats where people are kind of bigging it up in something that it's not. And at least it will lower the risk of losing key team members, which then just create you more of a headache moving forwards. So really important to communicate with your teams. Step number six, cut. You need to make the cuts. You've got the plan, you've communicated with the team, you've now got to go through, make the changes, make the cuts. And you need to cut deep, but not too deep. You don't want to cut yourself to the bone, to the point that you cannot deliver to your existing client base, that you can't do the job to your best of your abilities. Because by doing that, you might save out a little bit more money, but what's going to happen is your service is going to be affected, your deliverables will be affected, and you're going to end up probably losing more clients and not being able to fulfill the orders that you do have. So you want to cut enough to make it worthwhile, but you don't want to cut too much, which basically hinders your ability as a business to deliver to the right standard. Step number seven, you really need to focus on the customers that you do have at the moment. Also, talk to them, find out what are the bits that you're doing really well, what could you do better? Are there any gaps? Use this as kind of like a blue ocean exercise. Go through with them, like, what is it? What would their ideal service look like? Because you might find that in this time, you can actually use it to your advantage and pivot the service that you're currently giving or the product you're currently selling. And by making a few tweaks, you might be able to find that you can set yourself apart from all your competition by delivering a product or a service that isn't currently out there in existence, but that your customers are looking for but not asking for. So really important to make sure that your account management teams are on it, that you're delivering, you're following up with customers, that they're really happy, because what you don't want to do at this time, this crucial time, is start losing out big customers, key customers, and creating yourself even more of a headache, which means then you've got to cut even deeper, or you've got to replan for the new figures. You don't want to do that, so make sure you're focusing on your customers. Which leads me on to point 8, learn your lesson. There is no point recovering from this if you don't fix the issue that caused you to be able to get to it in the first place. Where was the breakdown? Was it was it human error? Was it somebody just kept thinking that it would recover? Maybe it was your issue in the fact that you just kept thinking month after month that the problem would fix itself and the issue would just go away. You know, how did the issue first come about, and what steps can you put in place to make sure that doesn't happen again? So step number 9 is kind of building on from step number 8 really, and that's update your systems and processes to make sure that whatever issue was there is now fixed. It can't happen again. You process it out. Also, you're going to need to update your process and systems to take into account, you know, the updated plan. You've probably adapted some of the ways you're doing things. You might have slimmed down your org chart, in which case duties and responsibilities may have moved or shifted. There may have been some absorption into other roles. So you need to make sure that all of these things get updated so that over time, you know, you're not slipping into kind of old ways, and that everybody is aware of how things are being done now. Which leads us on to step number 10, which is rebuild. Now we're going to basically rebuild. We're going to try and build back out any areas that we've cut. You've obviously made cuts and you've adapted your business to try and bring the financials in line to get things back under control. The idea now is to start trying to rebuild the business back to where you want it to go, this time slowly in more of a controlled way, using your updated processes and things like that, so that you can basically keep it more controlled this time, making sure that things don't get out of control and you don't end up back in the same situation that you were in. So by understanding how you got there, by being accountable for that, making the changes to your systems, your processes, your people, your org chart, and your overall business, the way that you do that will ensure that you don't end up back in that situation and that you're able to grow. Might be slower this time, but in more of a controlled and without as much risk to you or the business. So those are my 10 steps for turning around a failing business. I'd love to know what you think. If you're currently having issues, if you feel that I've missed anything or I've not covered anything off, if you'd like a little bit more clarification, do let me know in the comments below.